What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're here to talk about the brand new point farming event for the month of June 2022, starting obviously right at the end of May here, which we have Massacre Soldier Killer. So Killer is a pretty interesting unit. We'll go through what he actually does in just a moment, but this is another event very similar to the Marco Big Mom batch release last month, where you would farm this event to actually get your hands on some of these boosters, being the Rainbow Turtle, Elder Turtle, and the Hime Princess Turtle. And along with that, there is actually some requests from Chopper Man, which can give you some pretty decent rewards. You got a couple of gems, you got more turtles and stuff, and of course there is going to be the level limit break items, and there's a couple of Sugo Fest exclusives. I believe that, yeah, there's more down here, which include limit break materials, there's berries, I believe there's some cotton candy as well. So there's a bunch of different rewards you can get your hands on. It is a lot of turtles, but if you have some of the more recently released characters, including the 8th anniversary units, you're definitely going to have a very easy time in this video today. So before we actually jump into the content and what actually happens in this boss fight, let's actually go through what the brand new killer unit actually does. So this is the free-to-play killer that we're all going to be farming for. This unit is an int-driven slasher with a captain ability that's a 3.5 attack, 1.3 health to driven, but then 0 recovery, so not a great captain ability. Killer's special ability on a 12-turn cooldown will reduce Rainbow Shield by 5 turns, Burn by 5 turns, and if you have 6 driven characters on your crew, then you get a 2.25 times color affinity boost for 1 turn, which is actually not too bad. Also, something to note is that if you use this killer in the actual content itself, you actually will get 1 additional drop by using this killer on your team. So if you actually were lucky enough to pull the brand new Legend Kid, you can use this killer on that team and you can build a pretty good team off of that. Continuing on with Killer though, he will say that if you tap with a tandem slot on himself, he boosts the color affinity by plus 0.1. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually really cool, making his own color affinity 2.35 instead, and he also gives driven characters 40 base attack. And does he have any support effect? He attaches to Kid, and if they used a special, once per quest, if the enemy activates a Rainbow Shield, he reduces it by 1 and changes the supported character slot into matching. You know what? That's actually pretty good. That actually will have some niche usage. I'm pretty sure of that. That's actually not too bad at all. And he does have Rumble stats, so let's have a look here. Rumble stats: Int get level 5 crit up and level 5 attack up. And the special at 25 CT targets one enemy for 0.7 times his attack up to 4 times. I guess if you're trying to build an int team and you don't have many good characters, this might be a viable option, but I think realistically, if you've got some of the Pirate Rumble rare recruits or some Sugo Fest exclusives, this character probably is not going to see play. But overall, not a terrible unit, and of course he's going to be boosted in upcoming boosted free-to-play events, so make sure you go ahead and get him done. Go ahead and complete those Chop Man missions to get all those rewards. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Let's jump into the video with the first team, which is going to be the 8th anniversary Luffy, and all the teams in this video are going to primarily use the 8th anniversary characters, and I know not everyone would have pulled everything from the 8th anniversary Sugo Fest, so this team is going to help out a lot of you guys that would have only pulled maybe a couple of them, and you can just switch and change the characters as you desire. So the first team is with Monkey D. Luffy, and we do have the waifus on this team, but they are not really required. The only reason why they are here is that they enable us to remove the paralysis on this stage versus Eustace Kid on Battle 4. So you can replace them with any 5-turn paralysis remover. Sanji and Zoro are kind of nice. Zoro is really good because we do have the support of the free-to-play treasure map character Tashigi, who, when you hit a perfect, you actually remove 1 turn of defense up, which you would have seen was actually very useful on the 3rd battle against Heat and Wire. We also have Roger on this team because what happens is on the final boss stage, depending on the color of your captain, the killer boss on Battle 5 will do different gimmicks, and the gimmicks difference between the color of your captain isn't substantial, but it is something that is kind of noteworthy, and you do need to make sure that, depending on the team composition that you are trying to aim for, that you have the appropriate characters that can get around the enemy gimmicks. So on this stage, because we have a Dex captain, he does have resilience, which is where the new Kizuna Goldie Roger can actually remove that resilience for us, which is fantastic. And of course, we can get the super tandem with our team, which is going to give us a pretty substantial amount of damage output to take down Killer. The second team here is going to be with Ace and Yamato as our captain this time around, and we are once again using, the Luffy's badge, of course. Luffy can be replaced by a unit that gets rid of block slots, which is ideal, and as well as being an orb booster would be ideal as well. Now on this team, I do actually use the Goldie Roger free-to-play character, but do note, you can actually just switch him out for the Rare Recruit Queen from the 8th anniversary batch, because his special ability will remove the percent damage reduction on the final boss stage. And remember, with Ace and Yamato, you can switch them between dex and strength, and depending on what color you are when you enter the final stage, that will change the enemy gimmick. So you do have to know beforehand how you're going to be switching with your characters, so you know that when you reach the final stage, you have the correct gimmicks and the right team for those gimmicks. So with this team, we're ending on the final stage as the Strength Yamato, which means that the enemy will have percent damage reduction. So with Rare Recruit Queen, you can remove it, but I'm using Roger just because he has a higher chance of giving us a drop. Queen, I believe, is a 50% chance for an additional drop, whereas the Roger guarantees us one drop. But of course, if you can't get through the content, you need to make sure you can build a team to get through it. Another really good thing about Ace and Yamato is that with their captain abilities, they avoid all of the bind and the special bind throughout this piece of content, which is absolutely fantastic. And remember, you can resort to using a friend captain Trafalgar Law or a Eustace Kid, depending on your team composition, to give you more additional drops throughout this quest. The next team is going to be using the 8th anniversary hybrid Kaido, and once again, this team can definitely go ahead and use the Queen character as well on the final stage to remove the percent damage reduction, very similar to the composition in the previous team as I mentioned. However, this team is able to kill the final boss killer on Battle 5 through the Rainbow Shield damage reduction, because Kaido just does that much damage. So as for the other characters here, we do have the free-to-play Katakuri from last month. He's really great on this fight because he's able to reduce the cooldowns of our characters that are fighter and powerhouse characters by 1 turn, as we do get special reversed here. Now, the waifus are completely replaceable here, as they are only here to give us an additional drop. As I said, you can put Queen here instead, which will probably be more ideal in all honesty. But we also have the ability from Katakuri to remove paralysis, which is very important there too. And the Rare Recruit Jack is also going to be important, as well as King on the final stage, as we need to remove bind and special bind, where we got King to remove the special bind, Jack removes the bind, and through that we're able to get an attack boost and a chain boost. We have Kaido's increased damage taken, we have Kaido's orb boosting effect being activated as well, and as I said, the waifu character on the bottom row is definitely replaceable and not needed for this team composition. And then we get to my personal team here, which is going to be with the Super Tandem Law, and this is pretty much the exact same team that they give you during the Sugo Trial Island. So this is what I'll be using to farm this content. It gives me the most amount of drops. I believe I could probably take out Odin. Odin really isn't required. He just enables us to remove the barrier on the final stage, which makes it easier to clear. But realistically, you don't actually need the Odin on this team. But having the Roger to get rid of the resilience is very useful. With Law's super type, or super class special, should I say, gives us the conditional boost and the ability to get through the enemy's defense up. Beppo is going to be very useful on the final stage to get around some of those gimmicks, as well as giving us some matching slots and stuff like that. And then Law's special ability is incredibly powerful, giving us a very significant attack boost. And then we have Luffy to give us the orb boosting effect. But with all of that, that is going to wrap up this video today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hopefully this helped you out. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.